Yo, what's up? You're off in God's country with your boys Reid and
Dan.
Isbell, also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the great outdoors. Two things that go together like a good burger joint and greasy, slippery floors. Oof. You can smell it.
Just one spot, though.
Lick that grease off that floor, dude.
Or four-wheelers and 2 tracks to the river. Brought to you by
There you go.
MeatEater.
A little late today, Ray.
Ray, wake up, Ray.
A little late today, Ray.
Wake up,
Get
Ray.
on it. Wake up, Ray's another good one.
I thought that was a good name for him.
Hey, took over. Sponsoring the show now, baby. Took over. Thanks for still sponsoring the show now, baby. Apparently they making jeans and not only boots.
Larry had some on, I'm thinking we need some too. So took over, sponsoring the show now, baby. I couldn't hear the tempo. I don't know if I was...
Couldn't hear the tempo.
Couldn't hear the click.
There's no click, bro. That guy was cool.
Man.
He was just like us. Grew up a lot like us. Mr. Larry Fleet was in God's country.
I'm going to put that in the top 3 that passed the fastest. Like I looked down and it was
easy
an hour 10.
Easy conversation.
And I was like, gosh,
it literally
kind of got to get out of here.
It literally feels like we talked about our childhood the whole time.
We were 45 minutes in and I was like, we ain't even started really.
No, you kept on trying to skip things.
I had to. It was going to be 4 hours long.
Man, Tennessean, grew up hunting and fishing.
Singing. That's a singing song guy.
Yeah, he does a lot of, man, Where I Find God just blew his career out of the water. And
it should have too. It was that good of a song.
Yeah.
Or connected that well.
He does it on the show. Gosh, it's
very well. And he's a good player. You could tell he had tone in his fingers when he was picking it. Like he's legit.
Yeah, he's a real dude. Believes in real things. Got some kids.
I think he's sandbag on the hunting stuff. I think he's way more like the way he was talking. You know how you can immediately tell if somebody's like a real hunter or not?
Yeah, sure.
Immediate.
Yeah.
There was no.
I can't believe we didn't talk about duck hunting much, and that's
his thing.
This is I should have asked him the question. The if you had one thing. Question.
There is a part where I picked this up and he said, "Oh, I can get down on that too."
And you didn't let him?
I tried, but you were talking so much.
I was talking so much.
So much. Ray, did he talk too much? Oh!
Who, you talking about, me or Larry?
Wake up, Ray, son.
Give me a sound of my performance today, Ray.
Hey!
All right, now Dan's.
Eagle flying across the sky for freedom.
I feel like I did good today.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like you didn't.
Maybe
I feel like you didn't do anything.
Maybe like burger joints, just a little too much, but not Cledis.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following us on the socials. Be sure and hit the subscribe. 5-star roast or just 5-star nice.
5-star nice.
And it helps us put the roast on the table for our kids. If you know what I mean. I've said that before. I'm going to keep talking until this thing dings. That's an even longer one than it ever has been. There we go. Jeez. Gosh, what is that? The roast is it's too done.
It's like actual time for a roast to be done.
If you ever put roast in the microwave for that long, it's leather.
It's a microwave. It does kind of sound like a microwave. All right. God's country, where camouflage... I can't read the entire title. So if you're going to make a title, make sure it's shorter than this one. Because it just says where camouflage from Colton H.
Are you sure? Is that a picture of it, or can
it's a picture? Yeah, I'll try
to find the whole
It doesn't
thing.
really matter.
Keep going.
Listening to God's country feels like getting trapped in a deer blind with two guys who won't stop talking about their own mixtape. The host basically turned their truck cab conversations into a podcast and somehow forgot to bring anything new to say. If you've ever wondered what would happen if a Bass Pro Shops catalog gained sentience and started a podcast, wonder no more. Sure, they talk about music and hunting, but mostly it's thinly veiled bragging with a southern twang. Gosh,
this is a good one.
Full disclosure, I love this podcast, and ChatGPT wrote this review for me.
Colton H. Full disclosure.
That's a good one, though. That's apparently ChatGPT is really good at that, because that's kind of true.
I have never typed anything into ChatGPT.
Me neither. And people say, "Do you have it on your phone?" I'm like, I don't know how you have it on your phone. Is it an app? Is it just an app?
I have no clue. Ray, is it an app?
Do you use it a lot?
Ray uses it all the time. He's a techie guy, though.
Yeah, I feel like that part of the world existence is passing me by.
It's kind of terrifying.
Do I need to learn how to do it, Ray?
100%.
Okay, shit. Which one is it? What do I download?
Yeah, is it not just Google, Ray?
Is Google not doing the same thing? Everybody has their own. So maybe
because like when I type things into Google now, like a question, it types in like AI pops up at the top and kind of gives me a full rundown of what it's way too much to read.
It does. Larry Fleet,
killer. You're gonna love this episode. Thanks for sticking around. We'll catch you next time.
See you. Thanks. Bye. Thanks. See you. Bye. Thanks. Bye. See you. Thanks. Bye. See you.
Ray, we speed, dude.
Like me?
No, not you, big brother stuff.
I was like, last I checked, I'm your big brother.
We say speed, Larry. We're legit around here.
I see it. Yeah.
Did you hear how serious that was?
Yeah.
That's a new guy, Ray. If your headphones aren't working or
Who was that?
Ray, say something.
That's
how he talks.
Yep.
Hey man, we've got a.
He's also not new. He's been here forever.
Yeah.
Hey, this is how I know Dan doesn't read the sheets, the homework sheets that we have on our guests, is because right when Larry walked in, Dan asked him where he's from.
No,
he's like, you talk like us. Where are you from? And it's literally the first thing on the sheet says a native Tennessean.
Yeah,
and then it says 2 lines down from White Bluff. And then you asked about his new song coming out, and you asked if it was a whole record.
No, I didn't know if he was naming the record. What's the name of the record?
We don't know.
Okay. There's not one yet, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, you don't know.
It's a mystery to all
So it can't come out yet. It has to be a single.
We got a native Tennessean. He's a songwriting man, made a bar, Eric Church and Morgan Wallen, Where I Find God, freaking great. Big deer hunting. Dad and a 2. I like that right there on that one. Fishing. Mean shirt wearing, by the way. This dude, that shirt goes hard.
Yeah.
He's a man of faith and some singing. He does some singing. We got Larry Fleet in God's country today
From White Bluff.
From White Bluff, Tennessee.
Right down the road. Yeah. Dude, coming in looking good, man.
Yeah, you're sharp.
You kind of blinged out a little bit too.
Well, I'm going for the sort of like hunting Texas oil man.
I love
I like that, dude.
Yeah. I try to land there too myself.
I like that. You smell good. We did a little bro hug earlier. You smell good.
Thank you.
Why, y'all know each other?
No, we just went in for the bro. We just acted like,
yeah, felt right.
I can hug a man that wears that shirt.
Smells good.
Because I feel like we're foundationally on the same page.
Right.
What gives you that inclinication?
The mallards on his shirt.
Yeah, but the people listening can't see
be
the
a
mallards.
poser. You can't pose.
People watching can see it. There's mallards. He guy comes in with a camouflage shirt.
Yeah.
That's got a Drake and a Susie on it all over it, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels good. It feels right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with your hat? What is Cledis?
I'm glad you asked.
It's not like I do this for a living or anything.
Yeah, it's so Cledis is a burger joint. I don't know if y'all have ever been, but we got 2. Well, so I'm a partner in it now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and every country singer got him a bar. And I thought, well, what does America really need?
Burger joints.
More burgers.
So,
for sure.
Not more bars.
No, So good
More
news
burgers.
is we do sell beer over there.
Hell
so whatever. But
Wait, where is over there?
well, we got one in Bellevue, right over here, West Town. Then there's one on.
Dang, there are a couple of establishments.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're gonna do it, but and I act like I did something. I don't do anything.
You're doing it right now. This is what you're supposed to do.
Promoting.
Right? That's right. That's what you're
And,
supposed to be doing right now.
We got one over in, I guess it's Elm Hill Pike, Fester's Lane, kind of right over there. So that's the OG of the original. It's kind of old block building, and you're like, what is that? Is that an old empty, like maybe a tow lot?
Dog,
you
that's what you want. That's what you want in a burger spot, though.
Exactly.
You don't want to
in,
go,
and you're like, you smell the goodness. And
most burger joints too flashy.
No,
you want a kitchen and a couple chairs, tables.
Yeah, real greasy.
Dang right.
You want to smell like grease. And you want to slip around on the floor a little bit. You know,
on the way out.
Hey, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm getting to. If I walk in, almost break my hip. I'm getting to.
Take a seat.
It needs to be right before you get to the bathroom. There needs to be just a little patch. And you're okay.
Pops you back. You
just reset you.
That's when you know it's good.
That's a joy.
That's our burger place over there, and.
So is it Cledis Burgers?
Yeah. So the guy that started it, his granddaddy, his name was Cledis, and
hell of a name.
Oh, great!
That's
name.
A great Southern name. Yeah,
and
sure.
So he kind of started it, in remembrance of him or whatever, I guess. But then it kind of took off, and when they invited me over and to talk about, coming in on it or whatever, and I said, let's talk after we have a burger. Let me see if it's any good.
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing.
Halfway through, I said, where do I sign? Where do I send this check? And so that's kind of how it got started. But he's got a good thing. We go down here and we once a month we'll feed the homeless downtown Nashville, whatever. So we just bring out Black Stones and get to cooking.
Nice. Come on, man.
The first time I cooked 300 hamburgers. Damn. And smash burgers, dude. I was sweating.
I love a smash.
Yeah, it was good. But I mean, everybody lines up, and it's pretty cool. So
that's cool, man.
They get back, and I'm
good on you.
That, so,
yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Cledis.
Well, I'm glad I asked.
Here's the trouble with restaurants today.
With feeding the homeless,
is that everybody, and it's not even necessarily just restaurants. It's kind of just like life in general. And maybe it's because of the phones, and everybody wants you to get an app now before you can do anything in their establishment.
Yeah,
you're doing too much, man.
Yeah.
You're doing too much. It doesn't need to be this. I don't need thin sliced grilled avocado on my burger, man.
I'm leaving if I even see that.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't like it.
You're doing too much, bro. Yeah. Like, give me a patty with some salt and some cheese and maybe a little bit of bacon.
I mean, if you want some, I'm a ketchup man.
Ketchup man.
So I'm gonna have that over, and I want to see one of those bottles that's just old red squeeze bottle.
Been there a minute.
You don't know what's in it.
You don't know.
You just take a gamble.
I want to
shake it up a little.
I want to eat a burger. Yeah, I want to eat a burger and look like I murdered it.
Yeah.
With my face.
It needs to be on your shirt.
Yeah, you dang right.
And in your beard.
That's right.
You need a shower afterwards.
You dang right.
Are we going? Really? You need to have a shower after you eat a burger?
I ain't trying to eat a burger and not look like I ate a burger.
Right. I mean, that's
too easy.
It's fancy.
Yeah, that's fancy. That's expensive.
It's expensive.
That's what that is.
I'm for the working man. Okay, so
how much does a Cledis cheeseburger sell for?
Well, Ando, could you look that up? My manager's over here in the corner.
This is going to determine whether or not I like the restaurant.
That's right. When you're partnership in a restaurant, you got a guy to look up stuff about your restaurant.
Right.
He's sitting over there. It looks great.
And they got cheese fries, like queso fries, and it's kind of like the ball field fries. Them, $7.99.
Give me two.
$7.99.
Give me two.
You can't go to Taco Bell and get a taco for $7.99.
I tried the other day. It didn't work. If you want to double it up,
completely affordable.
Right.
One bill.
I'm going to try affordable. I'm a burger. I love burgers.
Well, get by there.
Okay, we're coming. We're coming.
Let me know.
Give us a promo
Tell them I
code.
sent you. Tell them I sent. Which is cool. I wear the hat and stuff, and people ask about it and stuff, which is part of the plan. And I have a really big head, and so these hats
we're big
they
head.
fit.
Yeah.
And but people ask about it all the time, and I'll talk about it. And then it's kind of cool. We'll see people coming from all around, out of town, whatever, and they'll come to Nashville to visit, and they gotta go check out Cledis because they'll see me wearing a hat. And I'm like, well, then they'll take a picture and tag me to it. So,
dude, come on, that's great.
I wonder if Cledis has a jingle.
It needs one.
Come see us.
If only we knew
at
a songwriter.
Cledis. Let's see. If you need, let's see. Oh, it's in drop down. If you need a burger, come and see us. We got ketchup,
Pepper jack and ketchup.
Down at the Cledis.
I don't think you the Cledis.
It's not the.
Down here at Cledis.
Down here at Cledis.
So try the whole thing again.
Can't remember what it said.
If you need a burger.
If you need it. Oh, island one. If you need a burger,
come on and see us. We got
pepper jack and ketchup.
Down here. I was singing the harmony.
Down here at Cledis. Yeah, we can do that.
Something like that. We can work on that. Yeah, we can.
Crinkle fries and queso. I mean, there's got to be a line.
Crinkle fries and queso.
Greasy floors in the bathroom.
What wrong's with the bathroom?
I don't know. Nothing.
I didn't know we were drop D. Sorry, that's my bad.
That's all good. Hey, we like to do a little thing. That was a little glad at section. We're gonna like to do a little thing we call mad at section. And it's another little jingle we did.
Yeah.
We doing this way? Are you singing it? Go.
No, I'm just trying to find the key.
What you mad at? Just tell us what it is, what you mad at. Is it your in-laws, kids, might be your boss man, or your neighbor's cat? Just tell us what you mad at.
Tell us what you're mad at.
Tell us
what you're mad at. Right.
Singer, get that.
Oh, man.
Tell us what you're mad flat.
Don't get me started. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Let's get started.
Get started, son. What you mad at?
I'm going to tell you, there's a few things, but one thing is these kids these days coming up with their...
These dang
kids
these days.
Kids these days.
Shortening words and making up their own words for stuff.
Hit me.
And like,
give me an example.
What happened to saying, man, that's cool? You know,
I say it all the time.
I do too. But then now it's like, dude, that was fire, bro.
Fire, bro.
Fire, bro.
No shot.
I don't know what that means.
No shot means shoot that deer. I ain't got no shot.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are
No
you
shot
saying?
is like no way.
Like no
No.
Or something about
kind of like that.
something cap. Somebody said something like
Oh,
cap.
cap.
Are you capping?
Yeah. See, we got nephews, and so I know capping is like
You're lying.
Yeah.
If you're capping, you're lying.
But you don't say like don't be capping. How do you say it?
No
Like,
cap.
Don't
No
no
cap.
lie. Oh, like no lie.
Like no
this
cap?
Cledis Burgers fire.
No cap? Yeah, that would be like me being like, you're not lying. You telling the truth on that?
Yeah, no cap.
Yeah.
Question
Wait,
mark?
this is like years old. I talked to Graham, by the way. We went to the river.
Graham's
He
our nephew.
says-
Graham's our nephew.
he says-
14, 15, 16.
He's 15, about to be 16.
Okay.
And he has a younger brother. But even the younger brother, Dean, shout out Dean, he's
12,
11. He said that language is on its way out, though.
Okay.
He said it's not. Yeah, I know. Because I did a check.
But is it getting better or is it getting worse?
Getting out. Like they're not doing it as much. It was kind of just like this little, but for a while.
Where'd it come from? Why? What
I
happened?
think it's like a lot of
Probably TikTok stuff.
Yeah. It must have.
Are you right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
What were you going to say?
Well,
Dude, is your pinky still broken?
hell yeah, I gotta wear this for 6 weeks.
Sorry, keep going.
Let's get an update on it, see how it's doing.
Not yet, keep
I
going.
hadn't taken it off in a while. That's better.
That ain't bad. Yeah. I mean,
It ain't moving.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the knuckle still looks a little. I mean, this guy's. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
All right,
broke.
so it's on its way out.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. I just
Okay, well.
for our listeners, our age generation, that annoying section of conversation is kind of sliding.
Just,
Okay.
I think it means we're getting old too.
I think so.
You know, it's just like
Getting, brother, I'm old.
Well,
We done hit it, huh?
I'm just saying.
I've been there. Yeah.
I done got.
Yeah.
Done there. I've been done there, dude.
Done there. I don't know. It's a few of those words that I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And why not just speak normal?
I'm with it. I'm with it.
You know, that's things that really grind my gears. But then another one is, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, is, and my wife does it all the time, is put stuff on the console of the truck. Just like sets it up there, like, you know, where your arm goes. And then I take off and it goes flying across the truck. And then looks at me like,
Why'd you go flying off in the truck?
I'm like, well, it's a notebook full of papers and
It's
stuff.
an open
Yeah.
Diet Coke,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
brother.
Like you driving like an idiot. And then she'll say,
You should
"Do
be
you have a depth perception issue or something?" I'm like, "You didn't see them stopping 14 miles up the road?" I'm like, "I didn't. No, I was looking at that deer across the road over there." And
Preach, brother.
Yeah. And then I hit the brakes a little too hard. Don't get me. Anyways, like I said, don't get me started.
Did we stop? Did you die? Everything good?
We're here.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And it's usually not even like a. It's usually not even like a. Whoa! It's like
yeah.
or just the silent handle hold, like the
Put her foot down like that.
the
I'm
foot
like,
down and then
it's
the
a-
handle hold. Just
it's a stop sign.
It's a stop. I see it.
I'm going around a curve. Like
Yeah, it's always one of those up on the dash. If you put stuff and it goes flying around, it drives me nuts. I don't know why, but
I'm with that, dude. I'm with that.
so you got kids?
oh yeah, I got a
How
little
old
boy
are
and a little girl. My little girl just turned 4, and my boy will be 6 in August.
Oh, that's so I'm 6'3", well 5'3", 10 months. So I go, and then he's got we got
3
we got
and
young
about to be
kids.
2.
Yeah,
I can't stand when Cheyenne passively aggressively doo-doos on me by telling our kids something like this. Like,
I'm glad you finished that sentence.
Like, how would she do it?
I was like, what?
Let me see exactly how she would do it. She would go, well, your dad's driving crazy, so I got it. And it's in like a happy tone, you know, and I'm like, it just makes me want to just even go even more crazy.
Oh, am I driving crazy?
Yeah. Well, I
think
love
this
that,
is crazy.
But my kids got my back, see, because I'm the cool parent.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. Yeah. What?
So, my wife will say something like that, and my boy will go, Mama, quit being mean to daddy.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like,
I got to get that going on.
Yeah,
boy.
Mama.
Yeah. He's going fishing later, you know. And
this guy.
And my girl's the
Who's
same
getting
way.
2 popsicles?
You can tempt them with a lot of like food now, you know.
for sure.
So, popsicles, any
suckers,
sort of junk, Diet Coke,
colored Cheerios,
anything, anything. Really.
Yeah, Fruit Loops in our house called colored Cheerios. We don't have them, but it's like a treat to get colored Cheerios.
My dad, Grandy, who's kind of famous on this podcast, he knows that too because my mom got real mad at me the other day because he pulled up and Reid's kids and my kids, they were all playing in the yard and they just completely disregarded what they were doing. And
it's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. His truck
towards the early 2000s white F-150. My granddad in it. And they all just like take off in a horde run.
Yeah.
And
he pops out with Pez.
Oh, I was so annoyed,
Skittles.
Man. I was like, hey,
he's like, come take a ride with Grandy.
Just in the driveway. So they're all running to it, and I'm like, hey, he's not even stopped yet. Like, let him park the truck. And my mom was like, Dan, just let him go. And I was like, well, they're running out there like a bunch of crack fiends. And she's like, don't you say that.
Yeah, he's got Skittles.
Snack fiends, dude.
Snack fiends,
that's
bro.
what they are.
My little boy, he'll go out with my mom. She wants to be called something cool, like, Gigi or whatever.
What did they call her?
I was like, one day I said, there's old Granny. And they started laughing. And she was like, no, please, no. And they were like, Granny. It's Granny. But Granny comes and gets them. And
so it's stuck, Granny.
Oh, yeah. It's Granny.
That's amazing.
And they love Granny because Granny lets them drink Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so
it's diet, though, Larry.
Right.
It's diet.
Yeah. And you can't tell my mom any different, know. But
hell no.
So they come up the other day and they said, we're going to take the kids. I was on the road and my wife just called and said, well, I didn't know that Granny was coming to get, I knew they was coming over to get them, but I thought they were coming back home. But it's going to be the first time they're going to spend the night with Granny.
Yeah, baby.
So they go out and they got like this little cabin they rented or whatever, and they was going to go have a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. They rented a cabin.
Yeah. Wow. And so they're going to hang out.
Granny doing it big.
Oh, well, they show up and gets in the car and they get all stuff. And my wife's like, hey, here's their water bottles. And everybody's got 14 water bottles, that you
we
push
live
a
the
button.
same life, dude.
Oh, I'm so tired of water bottles.
38 in the back of my truck right now.
Oh, I know.
How many Yetis with their names on them can you have?
I don't.
Every color, actually.
Every color.
Yeah,
they got
that's
them
what you
all.
get for.
And so they, here's all their water bottles and their little goldfish snacks and this, that, and the other, and other healthy stuff and little protein bars. And then Granny's like, we don't need any of that. I'll take care of them. She's like, I don't know. And I'm pretty
here
sure
it is anyway.
She just dumped their water out and filled them up with Diet Coke.
Hell yeah.
And then she was like, Waylon, my boy, he comes home. He's like, Granny, let me drink Diet Coke. I was like, okay. And he was like, I didn't drink any water at all.
All day, the whole trip.
Just Diet Coke.
And then this is the 2-day sugar crash.
Yeah. I ate Twix. I just had whatever.
Ice cream for supper, dude.
They sent me a picture. He had his shirt off. He was just like flipping burgers and hot dogs on the grill. And I'm like,
that's my guy.
He's 5,
Hell
Get it done, boy.
That's awesome, man. Golly.
They come home. My wife's like, I can't handle it. Granny,
it's the 3-day detox. That's the trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, there ain't no
and it
doubt.
takes them a while to they need a couple of naps to recoup.
Especially when they're not used to having it, right?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like your kids aren't used to having it. Mine aren't either. So when they get it, it's like one Skittle and they're like,
Then the next morning they went to Waffle House, which is, hey, it's a great place. But
pretty sure my dad and my son are at Waffle House at this moment right now. He came over to get him.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to Waffle House.
Oh, yeah. My little girl, who's
Staple of the South.
4, she's like, Dad, let's go to Waffle House.
All-star
we'll
breakfast.
have the father-daughter, date or whatever. It's at the Waffle House.
Exact same.
Yeah, I love it.
Exact same.
they went over there yesterday morning, I guess, whatever. Yeah, yesterday morning. And after their sleepover at the cabin and drinking Diet Coke all night to kind of
hung over on Diet DCs.
To get back in, in the right mind frame there, they went ahead and had some Sprite for breakfast,
Love it.
Full flavor.
That's how you follow it up.
Full flavored Sprite.
No.
You know how to get over a hangover is drink another beer.
Yeah, exactly. So hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog, son.
Yeah. Dude, Larry, we could just do this all day.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I'm mad at. We just got back from the beach. It's an awesome time, great time. Not telling you where we went because it's kind of hidden. I'll tell you after the show, but it's a great spot.
PCB.
Nope.
99.
No, let's go.
But so we stayed in a nice beach house, and it's got the little nest, things. It's hot, humid at the beach, so we get there. I crank it down. I like to sleep cold. My kids like to sleep cold, and I go 68, maybe.
I don't feel like that's cranking it down.
Maybe go 60, maybe go 66 at night. Just let it get down there a little bit. That's getting down there.
When you're at the beach, you're sunburned a little bit, maybe.
No doubt. So first couple days, dude, house feels amazing, sleeping great. The third night, I go to rip it down. Locked at 70.
No.
Swear.
70?
Locked at 70.
I wonder.
And I couldn't. You couldn't do it. It would just go. And dude, I sweated the rest of the week. Every night I sweated and didn't sleep as well as I did those first couple nights.
Didn't want to pop the homeowner just to see if maybe you get
because they paying that bill. But really,
ain't
you're
no
paying that bill.
I'm paying way more than that bill.
Exactly.
I'm paying that bill for the whole year, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let you have a little air. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Let me sleep a little bit.
Right. I hate that.
Dude, I was kind of like looking around like, don't do this to me now.
Do you think they can see you?
I bet. I hope not.
They can't see you.
If they see a lot more, they see all of me. If they see, because I like to be comfortable in that beach house. You know what I'm saying?
Oof. Well, I mean, when you're sunburnt too, you're putting, like you said, that's a couple extra degrees you're putting off.
A couple extra degrees for sure.
I mean, I know I do. The old shoulders is.
I felt a little caged, man. I felt a little caged.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So and I think that's wrong. Like, that's yours for the week. And if you want to run it, now I will say. I've burned up a few bus,
Agreed.
Get it too cold.
66 is that's the least you can go.
Yeah. 65 and you call him the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. And this weekend it was so hot too. We was out.
So hot.
It's about to be hot.
We was in Virginia, Baltimore, and then that barefoot thing up in New Jersey on the beach.
Okay, so you weren't in the South.
No,
it was 103 heat index yesterday.
Yeesh.
Now, the weekend before last, I was in Alabama, and it was like central Alabama somewhere.
Devil's armpit, dude.
I brought the kids, and everybody's just sweating and burned.
Mad.
They had a bouncy house. I'm like, you'll get burned up in that
dude,
thing.
Don't stand in the same place. Don't fall down in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep your socks on.
Second degree burn. Socks on.
It was bad. I was like, why do you want to jump in that thing?
Keep your socks on.
You're out in the middle of a field. There's
ain't no doubt. Dude.
No, ain't a shade.
Put it under a tree or something.
Hey, don't take your socks off in that jump house. Keep them on.
Man. Oh yeah, you'll stick to it.
Sticking to it.
And then with your skin, All
right, we got to get to some stuff.
Yeah,
man. We'll do this all day. So you're from White Bluff. Mm-hmm. What did the outdoors look like for you when you were young?
Okay. Well, I just looked out the front door, and it was
outdoors.
That's where it was, and we lived. I'm
a pro at this, dude. I got all the questions, and they're fire. They're fire. They're gas, dude.
Yeah,
they're lit,
bro. No cap. Is that right? I don't know.
You must be sounding big loud.
Well, but no, we would open up the door and literally thousands of acres in front of our house. It wasn't mine. But it was somebody's. Yeah. Like,
come on.
I don't know whose it was. Nobody ever knew whose it was. I'm not sure it was anybody's. No. It was just there. And so my grandparents, they lived next door. And then all the family sort of lived on this street, And so we had, 5 or 6 acres. It was kind of right there, which as a kid, 5 or 6 acres feels like 500. You just run.
Ain't no doubt.
My granny would have them clothesline with my granddaddy, all he ever wore was a white pocket tee. And that's all he wore. It was like a Hanes.
Staple of a granddad right there.
47 shirts up there and a couple of sheets, and we'd run through it with the bicycles and four-wheelers.
You know why he wore that? One, because didn't cost much.
Yep.
2, it is the most comfortable, sun protected shirt, and that is the coolest shirt you're gonna ever mow the yard in. Oh yeah, it's a white pocket. Well, I do the same thing.
He was in the logging business for most of his life, you know. So it was like he's out in the log woods running. You know, he had an old log truck and stuff, and he would haul me around in it. And every time we would go out, we would come back with like a 3-wheeler at some flea market or something. It was the greatest time ever, you know. But like the outdoors was. I could just drive across the road. I had a little 54-wheeler. You know?
Yeah, we did too.
My mama, she'd be like in there on the phone. We had one of those like phones that was in the kitchen with the cord, you know. And I'd be like, Mama, can you crank my 4-wheeler? And she's like, God, all right. She'd go out there and crank it up. And then I'd just ride. And I'd go to my granddad. I'm like, I'm out of gas. He'd go up to the store, get some gas, and then complain about $1 a gallon. Golly, power premium.
I know, that's
power
right.
premium.
I remember when it was 15 cents.
Power premium. That's what he said at 93. Yeah. I had to have that power premium to put in the dirt bike. But we'd run up there, fill it up with gas. We had a goat. My brother got a younger brother that's 4 years younger than me. And he would.
That's what we are.
Yeah. So he would ride a go-kart, the 4-wheeler, dirt bike.
Is he awesome? Is he way better than you at everything?
No, I'm way better than him. Yeah. Same. No, he's good. He's got a whole slew of kids, and it's it's just fun when we all get together and stuff. But we look a lot alike, and beards and all that stuff, and you hear us talk, and it kind of makes sense. But
sure.
But yeah, so we'd get on 4-wheeler and stuff, but there was always these trails through the woods, and it would go down the Harpeth River. And so you could ride from our house to the Harpeth, which was 30-minute ride through trails.
We grew up super similar, man. We grew up next to the Tennessee River, and we call it the Bottoms. And we lived in a neighborhood where you could go out around the neighborhood and go through the back of somebody's yard and go through some trails that we cut down to the river. And dude, we ride those bean fields and those gravel roads down there and go down to the river and skip rocks or drive all the way to Cravens.
Okay, here's my question. Would you let your kids do that today?
Oh, I don't. No, probably not.
Same.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we've gotten soft. I don't know. But well, my kid broke his arm the other day.
Hey, there
and
you
so,
go.
like, I mean, he was just out in the yard. So I don't know if I could trust him to go to the Harpeth.
Yeah. But I mean,
he'll get bit by 14 snakes. And then, you know.
Well, were our parents saying that? Because we definitely rode our 3-wheeler. We had a 70.
I don't think they loved us back then. Like
maybe not. Maybe not.
We love our kids more than our parents.
My dad was fishing. Yeah. My dad was fishing. So he's like, hey, you want to go down the river today? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go fishing. Here's the 4-wheeler. Go for it.
I'll see you back at 5. We go swimming. We go swim in the Tennessee River on mud river banks. We're probably 10 though. We're probably 10.
Yeah.
We weren't 6.
And we didn't have no air tags in our soles of our shoes either.
We used to get in a boat, me and my cousin, and we were about 2 years apart. But I remember getting pulled over by TWRA at like 12 years old in a flat bottom boat on the Tennessee River. And Mason's boat dock, was over there. And it was like this little slough. It's called Little Richland or something that was over there. And it's like this little slough. And we'd catch shellcracker and stuff over there. We'd just be out running. And our parents are like out drinking beer or something over at the trailer, man. And we get pulled over by a game warden. They're like, well, where's your license? We're like 12.
I don't know. I got a life jacket.
Yeah, check this out. Yeah. And but yeah, so it was a different time. But we we would hunt turkeys and deer and run up and down through there all the time. And just, I mean, back then my granddaddy, he gave me my first gun, which was a little 410, like the cheapest 410 you can get at the pawn shop.
Right.
And I still got it.
Really?
And, great squirrel gun. And, we always had some old mutt dogs or something we'd bring out there, and they'd run around through the woods and catch squirrels. And so we just had a big time. That's how we grew up and lived.
Man,
and
that's awesome.
My neighbor across the road, same age as me, he had a 4-wheeler too. So we just ride and we camp in the woods. Like we would go out for days.
Yeah, dude.
Just camp with nothing.
Build forts out there, way too high.
Yeah.
Take hammers and nails and just one piece of plywood at the very top.
On somebody else's land.
Yes.
Like it wasn't even we don't know who owned it. And we just showed up and then we acted like it was ours. We're like, don't you come over here on my land. Yeah. But I don't know if we were squatting, maybe that's what we were doing back then. But it was a good time. And I mean, I wish it was still like that for my kids. I wish I would just turn them loose, which they're young. I'm not turning them loose anywhere, but and maybe when they get a little older, it'll make sense to just go have fun. But
you trying to get them in the woods? You trying to hunt with them, fish with them?
Waylon, well, they both got their lifetime license. I made sure I got that.
Same, bro.
Why didn't my dad do that for me?
Oh, don't.
We thought we were moving to Mississippi.
That's what our dad said. And I said this. My dad will one day pass away. Mm-hmm. And when he does,
as will all of us,
I'm still gonna be mad about him not getting my lifetime license. I've told him. I'm like, I'm forever mad at you for not getting our license. And here's what I found out. Did I tell you this? When I went to get Boone's, my latest.
God, we barely squeezed those in, didn't we?
Barely. No, I was not
literally
before.
The day of their birthday.
I was not before. Yeah,
you got to get on them.
Got to get
no
on
doubt.
It says in there, even if you move residencies,
Oh yeah,
you can still keep your resident license.
Really?
come back.
So
and hunt.
if you move to Texas with your kids,
come back and
they
hunt
can come back
Tennessee.
hunting Tennessee for free
Oh man, that's
for the rest
nice.
of their lives.
Well, and
Because that's my dad's excuse is that, I thought we were moving to Mississippi. So
And what is it? $280, $300,
$300.
And now
$300.
a sportsman's license in Tennessee is, which they're not going up on the prices this year.
Saw that.
but it's right about $200.
It's $189.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I made sure I got both the kids because I wish I had a dad that loved me. And
Like you said earlier, we love our kids more.
I know it. We really do.
You're
Look,
proving
right there.
Proving it right now.
So they
Probably thought we were going to drown in the river at 7.
yeah, they're not going to make it.
we'll just have some
I ain't
more.
wasting $300 on him. It's probably $50 back then.
Yeah, probably. I remember the first hunting license I bought was like $13 whenever I was a kid, But I mean, so I'll take Waylon. He's, like I said, he's almost 6, so we got little blinds and stuff, and I'll take him hunting. And we went deer hunting because, in the blind, I can bring an iPad if I need to.
Sure.
And so we'll set up there. It's cold, and I have a little buddy heater over there, and I have they're getting soft. I'm telling you, we got a blanket over here.
No
We got
doubt.
it's so we're all
Snacks.
hunting. Yeah, and deer are moving around. As long as deer moving, he's good.
Yeah.
But we got snacks. We got Diet Cokes, whatever you need. And it's so he's sitting there, and once it gets a little slow, he can watch his iPad for a minute. And I got my little headphones he can put on. And then when I see a deer, I'm like, hey, get up,
Yeah.
And so I took him hunting all last year. We went we seen, little bucks and all this stuff and does every week and or every time we go. And then one time I went to Europe or whatever, and when I come back home, my sleep schedule's all messed up.
Right.
So he went down for a nap. And I said, I'm going hunting this afternoon because I'm wide awake.
Yep.
And so I went hunting. The one time I didn't take him, big old 8-pointer walks out, smashed him.
Heck yeah.
I loaded him up, and I come home and he was pissed.
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, you didn't wake me up? But I tell you, one of his favorite part of hunting, I think, is getting up before the sun and going to the gas station and getting a biscuit. That's the best part of it.
That is a good part.
I mean, you think
I still love that
dude,
part.
well, I think about us growing up and our dad doing the same thing, dude. That was some of the best. Even like heading to church if you got up early enough.
I was just about to say that's the only way he got me to Sunday school.
It's like you got to go get a sausage biscuit at McDonald's. But yeah, man, I remember like, especially on turkey days when we go turkey hunting, in the morning and we come out for lunch and we get burgers at Shell Street Cafe. We get
Slug
burgers. Yeah, man.
Oh,
and then go back and hunt in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Dude, it is. Food is a part of that.
Well, I think that's the whole experience, right? It's so much more than just the shooting or the sitting. It's like, it's a whole, when you're going hunting, you're wearing cool looking clothes.
Yep.
Awesome boots. Usually a pretty cool hat. And then you're definitely getting some sort of gas station breakfast or McDonald's.
It kind of makes you feel like an old man and when you're young that you don't even know. Like you're getting up early, you're getting a biscuit from the thing, you're carrying a gun around, you kind of got, you kind of puffed up your chest a little bit.
I think it's just this like, primal man hang thing that happens as a kid. And you're just like, man, it's just me and dad. It's just us today.
It's the boys.
It's the boys.
I've always said the woods grow you up.
Yeah. They teach you all all sorts of lessons out there, and just walking around, I'll try to not get in too much of a hurry, So I'm like, hey, look over here. There's a shed. He's found sheds.
There's no point to be in a hurry.
No, we're just.
It ain't changing. It ain't gonna be different tomorrow.
And he'll see us a scrape or something. I'm like, well, this, and I'll try to explain it to him.
Yeah, dude.
And then like a rub on a tree or something, and then he'll go back and tell mama, hey, seen a rub.
That's it right there,
like
dude.
using terms like
that's it.
just
Right
the
There's
dogs
scrapes out there,
just
Mom.
scrapes, and
You don't know what that is.
prints. You don't get it, but right now, one day you will. And it's like,
I'll take you.
Yeah, I'll take you hunting and show you. My little girl hadn't quite, showed a lot of interest in it yet, but she's got her license, and so if she never does, it was worth the $300.
She will.
I think she will.
And
She wants to do whatever I do too.
Yeah.
And she loves to fish. We go fishing.
That's what I'm saying, though. You're covered.
No, yeah.
I mean, you ain't got to, when they're 13 and you've rolled out there on that April 2nd day, you ain't got to go get on your phone and try to buy a license real quick before the game warden comes to your side of the lake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same.
Well, and like Stella, when we went the other day, we were doing a little video, and she was out there fishing. We were in this pond, and she was just snagging them. Little bluegill, just pulling them in.
Oh, man, that's it.
Waylon's sitting there. He's pissed because he's like, why ain't I catching one? I'm like, well, you ain't in the right spot, I guess. Yeah. And so he finally hooked on a couple of little bass and stuff. And I got a new War Eagle boat last year.
Nice.
Center console, Black Hawk, dude. It's great. And so the other day, boys trip, I threw him on the boat, and I said, come on, Waylon, let's go. We went over down Chickamauga Lake over in Chattanooga.
Yes,
and so
sir.
was out riding and having a good time. Lake. Oh, dude, he hooked on about a 3-pound bass on a little Snoopy pole. Dude, he was on it. And
the ride of his life.
And I had a video. He's going, whoa, no way. Whoa, he's a begging. Oh, Big Bubba. That's what he's saying. I was like, where did you get that from? Big Bubba. Get him in now. So he got countryer as the
fish got close to the boat.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That's amazing.
It was awesome.
Big Bubba.
He's holding him up.
Grab a net, Daddy.
Yeah, get that net, baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
Slugging down Diet Cokes, just
making Granny happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I've noticed is like, even I'm literally crying. I was laughing so hard at Big Bubba.
I love Big Bubba.
I
love Got Country.
But that is the truth. That's the truth. So my daughter is we got her a little 4-wheeler, right?
Yeah.
Well, she has no independence at this point in her life. She's 5,
Yeah.
So every now and then I'll take a bungee strap and I'll strap on my turtle box to the back of her 4-wheeler and put on like the Miley Cyrus video or the movie, the Hannah Montana movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
Bro, she will be
attitude change.
Flying through our
just
yard.
Thugging through the yard.
Running.
I do love getting, because we share the same trail camera. We got like 14 of Tacticams all over his property and all those properties, and we look at all of them on the same thing. And I love going through going through trail cameras at night before I go to bed and seeing Liza just go.
She'll be singing.
She'll be hand up and flying.
She'll be singing, but she'll pull up and say like, "Are we going to the fire on the mountain, Daddy?" More countryer than she normally talks. Oh, yeah. And I think once you like do something country, like 4-wheeler or Big Bubba, you take on that persona, and and maybe it's just she's just trying to talk like Hannah Montana, maybe a little bit. Yeah. But it's real. It makes me real proud.
Yeah.
The rednecker, the better.
Oh yeah.
We were at the beach and I went and got some. I went and picked up pizza or something, and was coming back, and there were some deer eating just in the grass, like small island deer. And I went.
Are they smaller over there? Honestly,
yeah,
a lot smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, like Florida. I mean, I'm not trying to tell where y'all were, but you were.
We were on the coast of Georgia.
Coast.
Yeah, and they're small. The same thing. Kind of. They're like small as keys deer, but they're smaller.
Yeah.
But I got back home and I was like, Griffin, that's my little girl. I was like, I saw 5 deer. She was like, you did? I was like, yeah. I was like, I saw a couple mamas. She goes, did you see a buck? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I did. She goes, did you shoot it? I was like, no, I didn't, but I will this fall. I will.
Oh yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, these all like Waylon's all the time. Like yesterday, we got some deer out in front of the house, which I can't shoot anything by the house, you know.
Sure.
And so they're out there running around. I put a salt block out and some corn because mama deer and a couple of babies.
Oh, it's fun to watch.
I love to watch them.
Yeah.
Waylon's sitting there, and we got like this little pond in front of him. He goes, real good spot. Put a deer stand. I said, where's that? He goes, right over there. By that pond. And I was like,
by that feeder with them corn.
Right there by the feeder. Yeah. I was like, that would be a good spot,
26, 27, you can do that.
Hang of a spot.
Yeah, mama ain't gonna let us shoot them deer out of the front yard.
Next year. You can't do it this year, but next year you can bait them some guns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
How do you feel about baiting, dude? How do you feel about hunting over feeder in Tennessee? Do you care?
I don't care. Because, here's my deal with it is I think I can see it both ways. I mean, is it cheating? Could be. But at the same time, maybe that would allow people to let deer get bigger. Because if you think about it, like if you go out somewhere, people just get excited when a little deer comes. A little old 6-pointer.
Shoot the first thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they shoot the first thing.
That's an angle I hadn't heard either,
Yeah, they ain't really seen many. And I remember being that way as a kid. Like, we sitting out there and look up. What was that? And here comes like little old scraggly 4-point.
Yeah, I'm clicking the
he's huge, big Bubba. And, it's like, and then you're like, I just shot this little old 4-pointer or whatever, and you're younger. It is what it is, but I think people get excited because they don't see a lot of deer.
Yeah.
So if you can actually bring them in, and you're like, okay, well, that's just a little old 4. You got more time to kind of look at it.
Because you got 2 seconds when it crosses the food plot.
Don't mean they're going to be there when you're there either. I mean, but I think that it might help people let deer get a little bigger.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take. That's a hot take.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. God, I could just sit here and talk hunting for hours, bro.
Let's do it.
Hey man,
give us nothing to do today.
Give us the rundown on your journey to Nashville. Where'd you grow up?
White Bluff, Tennessee. So
sorry, dude.
I knew that.
Sheet. I was saying no. It says something about Chattanooga, and you were talking about Chickamauga earlier.
Yeah, we lived in Chattanooga. So I grew up in White Bluff, which Dixon County, so it's about 30 minutes west of Nashville here. And whenever I went to UT Martin, West Tennessee, out there, and
represent,
that's where we're from.
Do you know any Savannah boys, Hardin County boys? We had a ton of people over there.
When did you go?
That would have been like 2000. So I made it about a year.
Never mind. You probably didn't meet too many people.
But 2007, I believe it was.
Okay, How old are you?
39.
Oh, okay.
And just turned 39 this year. And then, so my wife is, she was from out that way, kind of Memphis area. And then she's moved around a lot. But a lot of her family moved to Chattanooga. So we had met when we were in Martin. That was the best thing. The only thing I really got out of school.
Hey, well, then that was worth going.
I think
that's
so.
The reason you went.
Go.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so. And so we went and made friends. Whatever. We was friends for a while, for a long time, and then always talked about going out. Never did until years later. And then I'd already started playing music, been doing stuff, and then it wasn't really going very well. And
the music or the relationship?
The music. And relationship fine. We met at Cheddar's and had a nice dinner. And it was
you can't hide money.
I'm telling you,
Cheddar's to Cledis, dude.
I know good food. And so we kind of started hanging out and stuff. And then she moved to Chattanooga and after school, whatever. And she's like, well, come over. So I did, and I was like, man, I like it over here. So we get to dating and stuff, and I was spending more time there. Once we got married, I just moved to Chattanooga. Mm-hmm. Loved it. And so
it's a great spot.
Oh, it's been awesome. And so
great outdoor spot too, man.
Yeah, it is. We're all around the mountains and stuff there. And so we just kind of was living out there for a while. And then I got a record deal, and I was out playing music and writing songs and doing all the stuff. And then so I was driving back and forth to Chattanooga every day. And then we bought a house out in Burns over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then lived there for a few years, and then just bought another house over in Chattanooga. So I'm drawn to the mountains. I just like East Tennessee. But so that was kind of our thing. I was over there all the time, but I was writing songs. I was coming to town every week and, touring and doing everything. So it's not that bad. It's a 2-hour drive.
No, that's easy.
Yeah, ain't too bad. So
you got a spot here and a spot there?
I just sold this one over here. I'll probably get some. I mean, I got some land and stuff over here. But,
good.
Yeah, I sold the house. Hard not. Somebody had to have it.
Ain't no doubt.
I'll put it on you.
Yes, sir. Everything I got's for sale.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it. And so we bought another house in Chattanooga. So been out there, and the kids go to school. They like it. And all their cousins and stuff are mostly over there. So,
so you just pop in for the week, right, and then head back out on Thursdays or something?
Yeah. Well, I just drive over. I'll leave in the morning because we're in Eastern time. So I pick up that hour coming back, and I'm already up. So
dang!
I run back and forth, and it didn't matter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my old diesel truck.
Were you there this morning?
Been paid for 10 times, and I was there this morning. So
you came back?
Yeah. Oh yeah. To be honest with you though, living farther away from town has done me a lot of good as a songwriter.
Ain't no doubt, bro.
Because that's where I do my thinking.
Ain't no doubt.
And so when I was living in town, pretty much, by the time I dropped the kids off at their little school or whatever, and then went over here and did this, then I would stop in for a ride. My mind is just kind of, and I've been fighting traffic out here. Well, it just kind of.
You ain't inspired.
I'm not inspired. I wasn't coming up with good ideas, and my writing wasn't as good. And going over there in that 2-hour drive back, man, I'm thinking I'm a title man, so I'm just writing stuff down on my phone, coming up with ideas, listening to stuff, podcasts, whatever, and my mind is going. Then I'll ride these back roads, go like through McMinnville and stuff, which is farmland.
Yes, I've been that way.
Man, it's beautiful. So I'm doing thinking, man, I've got, I got a little Bible app. That's just like where I find God. I do my praying and stuff.
Yeah, man.
On the road or in a deer stand or whatever. So like that's when I'm talking to God in a lot of those places. So it's done me better to be away from town a little bit. So
I completely agree. We live 35 minutes south, and honestly, bro, if my family wasn't there, there ain't no telling where I'd go. I mean, like I'm thankful for Nashville. I'm thankful for this industry and what it has given me, and hopefully gives me, in the future. But at the same time, man, like it can be overwhelming being here, and you can get caught up in in a lot of I think the lie of you got to have more, and you gotta be this, and if you're not winning this, you're not enough, and I really do. I think rooting yourself in somewhere outside of town to that is slower pace of life, that you can spend time with your family more and your kids and watch them run around and give them some space I think it's crucial.
It is. For me, that's kind of, I got friends and stuff over there, and people know who I am, over here. They know me over there too, but at the same time over there, it's like, hey man, you want to go deer hunting? Like we talk about deer hunting instead of what song did I write this week, and it's a really cool. People think what I do is cool because it is cool.
It is cool. Yeah, it's cool.
And it's awesome. What we get to write songs for a living. I get to come up with whatever.
Super blessed.
It's awesome and make a good living. And it's like it's really cool. But I don't know. I've got like a church group away from town, and it's like, my wife's uncle is a preacher, so amongst the church and all the other people that I got connected with there, like just good dudes. We'll go and eat breakfast and have a Bible study.
Awesome,
it's like it's things like that, and I get to raise my kids that way and around the mountains and the water and around God and church and having a bigger family. Kind of. What is it, like a support group, for my wife whenever I'm gone a lot, So it's like
it's huge.
Everybody over there, and there's neighbors, and like everybody just kind of looking out for one another. And not that it wasn't over here too. Sure. It's just that's where we feel more at home.
And if you're going to be leaving her a lot, as far as hitting the road, you want to be somewhere comfortable.
Exactly.
We're 10 minutes from my wife's parents too.
Oh, that's nice.
It helps a ton, dude. It helps a ton.
It does, and I always feel bad leaving because I don't like leaving my family at all, but when you leave and you got them out in the middle of the woods over here with nobody around, like, I got a security system, and a bloodhound that let somebody know what's going on. But like, it's nice having somebody literally 5 minutes down the road or somebody in the neighborhood or like a buddy of mine just call him and say, hey, can you run by the house? He's got a key to the house and just go in and help me out if I need something. It's really nice to have.
Let's be real though. A bloodhound is going to let them know. It's going to let everybody know that something's going on, but she ain't going to do nothing about it.
Ain't going to do nothing.
I got a bloodhound too, and she, dude, if a person came up with a 47 trying to get inside, she'd go, Arr! And then stop and just watch him.
I wish my dog would start barking. I'm going to be honest. We sent her to training, and I went to pick her up. She's just a big pit bull. Looks terrifying, but like same. Not going to do nothing. Bro, she don't bark at nothing. I went to pick her up from training, and the guy goes, "Does this dog ever?" She's been there 4 weeks. She goes,
especially coming from Remy, that barked at everything.
I know. She goes, He goes, "Does this dog bark?" I was like, "Bro, maybe I've heard her bark twice."
Remy was soft as a pillow, son, but she'd scare the socks off.
She's terrible.
A stranger.
She's just a little pit, like a pocket pit, is what they call it.
Yeah.
She was terrifying, and
but she was amazing.
But this dog's 90 pounds, and it's like,
shoot. Let me tell you about Melvin. So Melvin,
great name,
Melvin Tillis.
Is Melvin your bloodhound?
That's my bloodhound.
I got Maybell Carter. Yeah, that's my bloodhound.
We need to get Melvin and Maybell together.
Well, Spade, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, mine either. He just got
they'd have a good time
back there now, and so, his little coin purse. It's just like a little. It flaps around in the wind. It's like
one of them Crown Royal bags.
Yeah. And but so he's about 130, 40 pounds. He's big
boy,
and he's like a red color. It's kind of tan, but it gets considered red.
Red bone. And
man, his ears long, slobbers, just real big. He's about 7 or so now, and he is massive. But the kids love him. He loves the kids. And I've thought about getting rid of that dog so many times just because he's so loud and nasty and stinks. And I'm just like, you were so aggravating, and I can't do nothing with this. I've had 2 or 3 other ones that are perfect dogs, and we take him out in the woods. We do stuff. This one won't hunt. He won't do anything, and he just eats all the time. And so I was like,
eats and barks.
I said, you know what? I can't get rid of my dog. I said, but I'm gonna send him to a trainer.
Yeah.
And so I call up like the top ones. It's expensive. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
it is.
spend whatever to make this dog.
How old is this dog when you send him?
About 5.
Okay.
And
so he already been in the world.
Old dog.
He already been in the word.
Yeah, he's pissed.
He was pissed.
Yeah. Yes, he's been living.
He's like, Daddy, I ain't changing. I ain't changing.
Yeah,
you wasting your money.
Yeah, and I did, and it was like, so I called up these people, and people were like, yeah, man. And this one, they said, yeah, we're the best there is, and I said, well, I can see that by your price sheet, and they have like this record of training these like world class dogs, and we can train them any age, from 6 months to 6 years old. We don't ever. I was like, all right, well, I got the bloodhound. They said, yeah, they're stubborn, but we can do it. We can do it. I said, let's go. So I send them out to training, and they said it's going to take about 6 weeks or whatever. I said, awesome, 6 weeks with no Melvin. Yeah, I'm gonna go clean the house, Yeah. And so we send him off. Well, about 3 or 4 weeks later, they're sending like little videos. He ain't doing nothing.
Ain't doing shit.
No, I won't do nothing. And they finally, and they said, we've never had this happen, but we're going to give you some money back.
No way.
So I got money back on Melvin, and they were like, he's a sweetheart, and he is. He's a good dog, but he couldn't.
He ain't about it.
He's not maybe so smart. I don't know. He just couldn't figure. Maybe he's outsmarted.
Maybe he's too smart.
Maybe that.
Real smart.
But anyways, he was untrainable. So
nice.
But he knows, and we have like a little collar thing you can kind of pull in. He'll do some stuff, but he still don't listen very well.
See, I got a chocolate lab and a red bone, and chocolate lab, man. All he's Merl, and he's 4 years old now, and dude's still a puppy. He's wild. We just took him to the beach with us too, and
oh man,
and so like he'll. If you call Merle, he'll come back to you. Like he's excited. What, Dad? Like let's go. Throw me a ball. Throw me a frisbee. Anything. Maybe I'll do. She'll be walking out there on the beach, heading toward some more people. I go, Maybell. She stopped. She turned around, and if she had fingers, she'd be like this.
Yeah.
And then just keep on doing slowly walking. She's so hard headed, bro. But she'll trail up a deer. She's my deer dog. She'll trail up a deer.
Oh yeah, and that's the one thing about. I mean, they're bloodhounds. They're scent dogs, but they can waft that stuff up, man. They can smell it. I had one before Melvin, and we killed a deer and had, got it, all the meat and everything, just had some bones, whatever. And so went off in the woods. We got some coyotes, throw them out there. So I drove this thing probably 2.5 miles or so back in the woods off this thing, threw it back there. Well, let's see, who was that? That would have been Delmer. And Delmer, he got out and he found that blood. Tracked it 2.5 miles and drug it back to the house.
Brought it back on your porch.
Daddy. Yeah, look what I did. Yeah, I was like,
I got your deer, Daddy.
Hey, Daddy, you lost your deer in the woods. You dropped your deer. Yeah, I brought it back for you.
That dog could sleep on the couch for 13 hours without getting up to pee. Wow. What a good dog. What a good dog.
Man.
Hey, let's talk. Let's talk. Where do I find God, man?
Yeah.
How did that whole thing go down, man?
Do you remember where you were when you had the idea?
What I remember,
because that's kind of the song that started it for you, right?
That's changed my life.
Okay.
And so what happened was,
what a great song to do that too, man. Not cookie cutter, just like
I'm
commercial.
So proud of that.
Yeah, man.
Should be.
We was so I was doing this thing, like I was getting started, and I was trying to build my social media, because I was, you got to have your social media up. So I was like, all right, well, I don't know how to do that, and me and Jake Owen was buddies, and he was like, man, you need to just like play some songs or whatever on Instagram. I said, okay. So I started going to church, and I would come home and play whatever song we played at church. Mm-hmm. And I called it Gospel Song Sunday. And so that's kind of how I started doing it. Well, people got used to it and they liked it, and they got to talking about it. And so it kind of grew from Gospel Song Sunday. Well, then Connie Harrington hit me up on like Facebook or something. She was like, hey, oh yeah. She was like, I would love to write a song with you. And I was like, man, and I'm getting going. Like I had a few writes, some names, but it was, I'm still cracking. I'm beginning,
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, let's write. I really like what you're doing. I said, cool. And I'm excited. Well, I go to town, and she goes, I got this idea. It's called Where I Find God. I said, it was Connie's idea. And I said, I love that. And I said, well, just by the title, I said, I can relate. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Deer stand, Hayfield.
John Boat. Yeah.
Interstate back to Nashville. Like all this stuff.
No doubt, man.
And then hers, like she has a little lake house and stuff. And we both spend time on the water. And she was like out on the boat, and all this stuff. And I was just thinking about whenever I was growing up, me and my brother being on the boat with my dad, he'd just like, boys, be still. Just be still. And that was a line in there. And then I said, well, I see this as kind of being like a good old boy's prayer too. Like how does a good old boy that is not a preacher or whatever, how does he pray for? Yeah, exactly. And that's why at the end of one of the verses it says, thanks for everything. Well, that's kind of how I would do it, especially, it's like when you're new in the faith, you're brand new and you're just learning, like, trying to be a good Christian, trying to
figure out how to talk to God,
figuring out how to talk to God, how to pray. Like, you're not going, a lot of people say, thanks for nourishing my body. Like, we don't talk like that. Well, how does a good old boy pray? He
thanks
says,
for that cheeseburger.
Thank you.
Thanks for the food.
Thank you for Cledis. And thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
And that was where that line come from, which has become a huge line at the show. So I'll be playing that, live or whatever, and I'll get to that, and I'll just kind of back off, and everybody goes, thanks for everything.
Come on, man. Give it to us. You can't freaking say that and not give it to us. Half a step down.
Oh, I need a capo, boys.
What do you need?
I got one.
Get one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You need a capo?
I do. Yeah.
Getting it up there, huh?
Yeah. Let's see. Because it's in like B or something. Nobody plays anything in B.
Nah.
Agreed.
We capo boys.
So, day out on the water, the fish just wouldn't bite. I put my pole down and float around. It was just so quiet, and I could hear my old man singing a song, just be still. You can't find peace like this. A bottle or a pill.
Great line.
And from the bar stool to the living room, Sunday morning in a church pew, in a deer stand or a hayfield, and interstate back to Nashville. The Chevrolet with the windows down, me and him just riding around sometimes. Whether I'm looking for him or not, and that's where I find God. The one line was
keep going.
Sometimes late at night, I lie there and listen. The sound of her heart beating, the song the crickets are singing. I don't know what they're saying. It sounds like a hymn to me. Oh, I ain't too good at praying. Right here. But thanks for everything.
All right, one more chorus. Get it.
And from a bar stool to the living room, a Sunday morning in a church pew, in a deer stand or a hayfield, and interstate back to Nashville. A Chevrolet with the windows down, me and him just riding around sometimes. Whether I'm looking for him or not, that's where I
Stupid, man. No, keep it.
Okay.
Okay. I remember
you running it back.
I remember the first time I ever heard that song.
Do we need to pay him? If he keeps playing, we're gonna have to pay him.
Well, he's got a song out. He's got a new song out, and maybe he needs to do that.
Maybe,
or maybe not. It's up to him, but maybe he does. No, we were having.
I can get down on that.
I was at Combs' house, and they did this thing called Pizza Fridays.
Yeah.
And I was making a pizza, and this is a few years ago, whenever it just came out. And he was like, he was playing just songs on he's a big Bluetooth guy, loves to pull songs up on his phone and play it. And he was like, hey man, he's like, have you heard this? I was like, what is it? He's like, new guy, Larry Fleet. this song called Where I Find God. And I was like, no. And
he's like, you guys are going to like this.
Yeah.
Because he knows we're like,
I remember him playing that, bro, and being, because there wasn't nothing like that out on the radio or kind of on the scene at all. Then. Right. And dude, that song crushed me in the best way. Yeah. And I've been a huge fan of that tune ever since, man.
Massive.
That one, like, it changed everything because we had a few songs out and we were doing all right. Yeah. You know, we selling a few tickets, and then I put that out, and it happened. We happened to put it out on. I wanted to put it on Good Friday, you know, and I thought that'd be pretty cool. So we had it all planned out, and everything was going to come out on Good Friday. Well, the world shut down in 2020 right before it came out. I didn't know. You had to plan these things out. We had to cut it years ahead because we cut it in 2019.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get a record deal until like 18 or 19, and I wrote that song probably 17 or 18, something like that. Wow. And it was on hold with a bunch of people, and nobody ever cut it. So as soon as I got a record deal, I recorded it.
They weren't supposed to. Right, you were supposed to sing it.
And thank God they did not. So, it was supposed to be out and never. And then once we recorded it got shelved and it didn't get put out because the first record we put out, they didn't get put out. And I was like, guys, there's a good song. This has got something to it, you know? And finally I said, let's put it out on Good Friday. So we did. Well, as soon as we did, we went down to Lake Martin in Alabama and took my little boy was about maybe 6 months old at the time. And so me and him was riding around on the little mule, Kawasaki mule, down on the water, a little pontoon boat, little center console. We just I just had a couple of guys come out, buddies of mine, and Matt Paskert, and he brought a friend, and they just had little cameras, nothing big, we had no money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the label's like, we got like $3,000. You can't do a music video for $3,000, but we did, and we did a bunch
on
more.
On that boat.
Oh, we just did it all around Lake Martin, just down the church, just what we would do on a normal day. So we made this thing and put it out, and it got like 1 million views or something the first few weeks or whatever it was, just blowing up. Well, then radio stations started playing it. That's how it got to radio because nobody was ever thinking that would go to radio.
Wow,
it's a double first verse ballad.
That's true.
Called Where I Find God.
No That's doubt, true, man.
And so. And it's 4 minutes long.
Mm-hmm. Is it 4 minutes?
It's 4 minutes long. Wow. So like nobody ever thought it would do anything. Well, then the radio station started playing it, so it started doing its own thing, and then it was like charting, and it wasn't even out.
Wow!
And so then that's kind of where it started. Now that song has been played. I don't know. It's platinum and all this stuff. It's done a lot. But the biggest thing it's done for me, well, it just changed the whole trajectory of my career. Like I was, getting known for doing soulful stuff or whatever. Then all of a sudden that put me into the gospel scene. It kind of crossed over a lot of different things. And
it's country too, though, man.
It's very country.
I mean, it's a country song.
But it was like, it's gospel, it's country, it's whatever, it's soul. And so the YouTube thing has been my biggest thing. I got a big YouTube following. And so I just put out stuff like that and it starts popping off and you kind of know if you got something. Well, that song blew up my YouTube following. And then so next thing you know, we're playing it and people are coming up and they're like, dude, that song changed my life. I hear that more times than not, which is to me and y'all
that song's spreading the gospel, bro.
That's it. That's no doubt. I've talked to my preacher buddy and he's like, that you got a way of touching millions of people with that. And so I was like, and it has.
I mean, we remember where we were the first time we heard it, and like there ain't a whole lot of songs I remember that with, and that's one of them. And I've heard these ears heard a bunch of songs.
Doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
I think one of the greatest things, just like listening to your music, man, is like you get to write about your life,
right?
You get to write about your kids, and you get to write about church and God and fishing and hunting, and I mean, like it's inspirational because it's real and it's true. And
I got it made, man. I know who I am and I know what I'm doing.
Amen,
and it's like
bro.
I get to do what I want to do, and I sing about what I live every day. And it's my brand, as they say. Everybody looking for your brand, like I am who I am, like that, and I get to sing that,
dude,
and
amen.
It's awesome.
It's
I
blessed,
love it.
Right?
I say that all the
favor,
time,
bro.
Yeah.
I say that all the time, and it seems like if you can build what you do on who you are, then you don't ever have to like put on a front and a gimmick and do this song and dance thing. Like you just do what you do, and it's so authentic, and I think people can recognize it immediately.
Yeah,
they know it's a show and they know what's legit, and Man, you're legit, dude. Everything you've ever
thank
done, this very respected in this town, and we all think a lot of you.
Well, and that was, I never really cared about being a singer. I wanted to be a songwriter, and I wanted to be respected amongst my peers as a songwriter and be like a bona fide songwriter, And it was like, that was all that was, so like winning a CMA or whatever, like that's cool. I've written some songs that have gotten nominated and different things like that. But like whenever I got, like a BMI award or the 10 songs I wish I would have written, things like that. Like that was voted on by your peers and stuff. And like to me, that meant that's on the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Where I Find God gold record when I first got that, I never thought that ever happened to me. That was such a really cool moment for me. So like things like that as a songwriter, and that's what I'm most proud of because I don't know, we're different. A different breed to write things and come up with stuff. And, but and y'all can agree with this, I'm sure, is if you can write something as a songwriter that changes somebody's life, what better
That's
feeling?
The pinnacle, right?
That is. To me, I'm like, golly, like we did it. We freaking did it.
I think we all have this bone in us that want to write songs that move people, like songs we heard back in the day that moved us, and so that's always been my goal, and that's what I set out to do, is just try to write songs that people love, man, and help people out and
make a difference.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
It's kind of a great transition into Gravert, honestly, when you talk about songs that affect
We're not there yet, bro.
We got to be there. We've been here an hour, 10 minutes.
My guy just put out a song, bro.
You got nothing else to do?
I got nothing going on.
My guy just put out a song.
Me and Ando's going to eat lunch later.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
make sure
you better be going to Cledis, Ando.
Yeah, we'll go to Cledis. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it ain't even lunchtime.
I'm just making sure. Okay,
so let's get into now. You just had a song come out somewhere in the South.
Yeah,
kind of the same things, man. You're talking about kids and all this stuff, man. How did walk us through the creation of that tune?
Well, so we got on the roll. We went and wrote. So sometimes I had like a little group, me and Rocky Block, Brett Tyler, Jordan Dozzy. It was us 4. And like we were out, we wrote Man Made a Bar, we wrote Things I Take for Granted in the same day.
Wow,
and
song too.
So we had 2 of them hit the radio, 2 songs in one day that we wrote that both went to radio. And then everything else we've written, we were just cutting it. We were just on a roll, man. We had a good little group.
Stay hot.
I was like, come on, boys, back out, And so we ended up writing Somewhere in the South. And to me, I was like, man, one of my like biggest influence I remember listening to. I mean, I listened to Hank, I listened to Willie, like all this stuff. But Alabama was one of them that I was like, man, they sang real stuff, but in a Southern way, and they were proud of it. And they were
proud of singing about the South.
Exactly, they were proud of Alabama, and all the harmonies, all the stuff. But think about, we were walking in high cotton, old times they're not forgotten. But that or Tennessee River and the Mountain Man.
I mean, and like
monster hits, but they were simple. But they were also like what people in the South
proclamations.
Yes,
yeah, man.
But everybody in the world, I guess, felt it because they were worldwide, not just in the South. Yep. But they wrote about what they were into, and Leonard Skinner, all them people, they were proud of the South and they were Southern,
no doubt.
Allman Brothers, that's a Southern band, you can call it Southern rock, whatever, and it is, but it's also, Dickie Betts, you ever heard him sing? That's country, So all of that stuff was just inspiration to me, and I wanted to write something along the lines of that Southern, kind of Alabama, just Southern soul country stuff, and talk about, like one of the lines, and it's Dairy Queen and a cake cone, and like
I know exactly
what live at the Dairy Queen.
I can taste that right now.
I had Dairy Queen yesterday,
My God,
it was
I can use a Dairy Queen right now. If you went to Dairy Queen, what would you get right now?
Well, I can tell you because I had it yesterday. It was the Royal New York Cheesecake Blizzard, and they put like the little strawberry stuff in the middle. It's got the graham cracker. All mixed up.
See, I'm just OG chocolate dip cone, dude.
Okay.
Give me
go OG chocolate dip cone. And some chicken fingers. I'll take some chicken fingers.
The opposite of soft serve, I guess, would be hard serve, maybe. Is that what they call it? They used to get just the regular old scoop chocolate ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Give me that 2 scoop on the cone, and I'm good. I don't venture out much, man. I'm a pretty stay at home ice cream eater.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We talked about being comfortable earlier. Just being comfortable.
Be comfortable.
I think by the time you click 40, it's just like I'm just gonna kind of do what I want to do, and you can kind of.
Can you give us a little taste?
Yeah.
Not a Dairy Queen, but
yeah. See, Muddy River rolling, a lightning bug blowing, sunset golden, going down smooth.
Low flat 7.
Church bells ring, the summer heat stinging, the bullfrog sing, a Dixieland tune. Somewhere in the South, the kids are running around, mama's making supper and daddy's on his way back to the house. Fixing what ain't broken, cracking beers and Bibles open up, and they're smiling now. Somewhere in the South.
Bro, you're so tough, man. Your voice
That's great. That's great.
I mean, ain't that reminiscent stuff, man? Brings me back. Like, you know, like, what was it? Nightcrawler on a cane pole, Dairy Queen in a cake cone.
Yeah, man.
Climbing up on a fence row, honeysuckle and blue. Young love on a bench seat, a promise on a class ring. That's a small town big dream, still comes true.
Yes. True.
It's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's like that's small town stuff, man. It's everywhere, but for me in the South, that's what I know. That's what.
Well, it resonates with everybody, and it resonates with everybody from a small town, and even not even in the South, man. I mean, all countrywide, you know, is feels that, and in their own version,
right? Yeah, and
you make a great point that everybody loved Alabama, even though they were specifically singing about their home,
right?
The South.
My mom and dad got married to a Alabama song, which was
come on,
was it? Sometimes her morning coffee is way too strong. Sometimes what she says all wrong. Right or wrong, she's there beside me, like only a friend would be. That's close enough to perfect for me. Woo. You know, like that kind of stuff. And they had a home movie. Like it was like he got a video camera for his the wedding present.
The shoulder one.
Yeah, and they had like this old tree out, man. He would get my mom like video, and they were like, he'd probably be embarrassed with me. So I'm gonna say anyway, but like, they had an old record player, and they would play Alabama records. And it was, you know, close enough to perfect. And he would like be smoking a Marlboro with like a Marlboro hat on, a Marlboro jacket, you know. He's like leaned back. He's all of 120 pounds, you know. He's got his cowboy boots on, no shirt, and he's leaned up against an old tree. Then he'd like, you know, jump on a tire swing, like swing across, or it was like a grapevine, you know, whatever grapevine. He'd like swing across. Out there, like, and he was like singing his own music video, like he was Alabama singing it. And I know my mom's like, yeah, you know, like,
smoke that cigarette.
You still got it.
He had an old 67 Mustang, which belongs to me now. That was his first car, and I got it now. But it was like out in the yard. Yeah, he's just smoking cigarettes. And then their friends would come over. They would like, they're making music videos to these songs. And so I watched that and thinking to myself as a kid, like, how cool is that?
Cool.
Same thing was like looking at a record. We wrote a record called Stacker Records. And, it was all like a songwriter kind of thing. Yeah. And that's where I Find God was on that record and everything. But I just remember like listening to these records growing up and wanting to be these people. And I remember there was one, Hank Jr. is sitting in a chair and he's got a live mountain lion. And he's like petting it. Yeah. I'm like, how cool. Because this man, he has a real life mountain lion and he's a cougar.
Damn cougar sitting beside him.
Yeah. And he's like petting it. I want a cougar, you know, like I want to be Hank Jr.
Yeah,
man. But so that was kind of all the stuff that we grew up listening to, and it's very much instilled in me, and that's where everything comes from.
It's awesome.
What's next for you, man? Where you playing shows all year? Where are you going to be this fall? Where can people see you?
We're in this summer we're just kind of hitting the festival stuff and hopping around, but in August we go to Europe. My first headlining like tour over there, and just sold out Ireland. Pretty cool. I mean,
good for you.
Some of them are smaller rooms, but
country fans over there, man.
Dude, yeah. And some of these places, I mean, they're hold 1,500-1,600 people, which is pretty good for never really going there. And so we got some stuff in Europe and Ireland, or England and Ireland, and the Netherlands. Just kind of
awesome.
Come back and doing a fall tour, just all around here, you know, or United States, and then kind of West Coast stuff at the end of the year and get ready for duck season.
Oh, My kind of guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You fit right in.
You dang right. You dang right. Well, dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man.
That was awesome. Do you want to play a Gravett song? You played a bunch of songs right then. Do you got one that kind of sticks out?
Man, it's hard to pick,
Yeah,
because I've been influenced by so many.
Sure,
but,
man.
For me, like,
You ain't got to, but do it.
yeah, you're a good singer. We want to hear you.
Yeah, you're a killer.
I'm trying to think of one. I woke up crying late at night when I was very young, and I had dreamed my father had passed away and gone. My world revolved around him. I couldn't lie there anymore. And so I made my way down a mirrored hall and tapped upon his door. And I said, Daddy, I'm so afraid. How could I go on? You're gone that way. I don't wanna cry anymore. So may I stay with you? And he said, that's my job. That's what I do. And everything I do is because of you. To keep you safe with me. And that's my job, you see.
Oh, gosh.
What a great song.
Oh, my gosh.
Wish I'd have ripped that one. Yeah.
Dude, you're real as they come, bro. And we appreciate you for it.
Too,
I'm a
man.
huge fan. I'm a huge fan of your tunes, your writing, everything you stand for, man. Thanks for coming on.
Wish I don't remember how to play that one now. But,
It doesn't matter.
we just winged it.
You just
was
did.
good. That's all we do. We wing this entire show.
Yeah.
That was off the cusp, dude.
Yeah, man, you have to come back. We'll have to.
Yeah, I'd
I
love
can
to,
sit here
man.
and talk hunt stories and
Yeah, I want to hear. About your fall. You gonna kill some big deer this year?
Yeah, man. We got a couple on camera.
Already running.
they're
Them.
getting
Always,
there.
yeah. I
They're getting
mean,
there.
like the Tacticam, man, has changed the game.
Agreed.
It's nice to be able to just, get a ding on your phone. Oh,
Right.
we got a deer.
no doubt.
That and I listed it on X and stuff, man.
Yeah.
We used to just wonder where we were at. Now you know. Whose land
you know
is
exactly.
this?
Hit the fence line. Like we crossing this or going down?
I don't know. And so, I've got all the stuff. We got all the technology now, and like I said, me and the boy, we're looking forward to it. So we'll definitely do some deer hunting. And but duck season.
You're a duck guy.
I'm a duck guy, man.
Really?
And I think reason why is
We didn't even talk duck hunting. My bad.
well, to me, like I grew up in Middle Tennessee. We had Cheatham Game Reserve, or you went out to like Camden, hit the bottoms there.
Dyersburg.
Yeah.
Yep.
That flyway's stupid.
Oh,
Yeah.
But now like I got a bunch of buddies, and we all got places over in Arkansas. I say they got them. They're richer than I am. So like they've bought up some land over there.
That's the ticket, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm their friend.
Right.
And so,
Shoot, yeah.
You can play some songs.
I play songs. We hang out.
you
I bring
contribute.
gifts. Yeah. And so we go over there and hunt kind of northeast Arkansas all the way down to Stuttgart and everything else. But we'll make trips out to Oklahoma and different places. I think for me, it's I love water. I just want to be around the water. If I'm waist deep in standing waders in muddy water, I'm okay. And I think ducks are cool. There's so many different kinds of them. They're pretty. They look good on my wall, and they're good to eat. And it's to me, I like that, and I get to hunt with my buddies. And sometimes if it's super nasty out, we get in the pit. We cook sausage and biscuits. So we talk and we little fellowshipping.
Fellowship.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That
Ain't
to
nothing
me,
wrong
that
with it.
I like group hunting. I like hanging out with my buddies and that kind of thing, and being in the water.
Makes you a better man too, man.
I
Better
think so.
husband, better dad.
Well,
It does.
let's group hunt sometime, man.
fellowship.
Let's shoot
You
some
let me
ducks.
know,
Let's
yeah.
kill some turkeys. Let's,
sure.
Let's catch some big bubbas. Let's,
Hey, you want to go catch a big bubba? I'll get
Is
Waylon.
that on
He'll
your
put you-
Instagram? I want to see that.
Did we put it on there? I don't know if we put it on. I don't.
I want to see
Yeah.
that video before I get out of
I'll
here.
show it to you.
Ow!
oh man, yeah. What do you say? Woo, get him in there. And I was like, oh, okay.
Get the net, Daddy.
Get the net. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Hey, thanks for hanging out in God's country. Oh yeah, we got you a
Tacoma.
Yeah, dude, you're on pair. You got some more. Look at you. Got some more. Got some Tacovas for you. There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely, brother.
There you go.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging with us, man. You're great.
Man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks for hanging out in God's country. We'll check you next time. Larry Flea, go check him out. Check out his new song, Somewhere in the South. Peace.
Appreciate you.
Heck yeah.
You're not looking at me.